Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Didi. If you're coming across my video for the first time, I'd like to say you are welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much if you're a returning subscriber, a returning viewer. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, I would really appreciate for you to kindly consider subscribing. So today I bring to you my first movie review, and I'll be reviewing the movie Storm by Diane Russet. Guys, I'm not even going to lie to you. This movie got my emotions flying all over the place. I mean, I had emotions everywhere. I mean, it was really, really good. It was a good movie. It was a really good movie. In fact, I had to see the movie twice, and when I saw it, I was almost in tears. I think I actually shed a tear. But anyway, the movie is about leukemia. Initially she got us thinking it was a love story. Well, it is a love story, tragic love story, but initially she got us thinking the lover boy in the movie is a playboy. Like she just kept the whole suspense there. I mean, she was good. She did good. She really did good. So the movie was directed by Michael Ama Samis Akinogude. I hope I get that right. I hope I got that right. Executive producer was Diane Russet. Main cast was Diane Russet herself. She starred as Ata, aka Ataka. Also, main cast was Daniel Etim Efyong, who starred as Storm. Supporting cast Ike Oyema and Sadi. The movie was about 19 minutes 19 minutes long. It started with a young girl who was just trying to have fun in her apartment. From the way it was set up, I just guessed that it was probably the weekend, and she had probably had a long week. She just wanted to chill and have fun. How these things how these things are now, ladies. So she's looking at her phone now, and from her facial expression you can tell that she just realized what the time is, and probably the time has really been fast spent. And then on her face she's like, oh. And then she tries to place a call which didn't go through, but finally she calls again and it goes through. And you see a young man who I just guessed from the way he's set up also that he is working late, and she's placing this call to this young man, and he is trying to tell her, oh, hello, you're welcome, thank you so much for calling Kohino and all. But immediately the call goes through, she just attacks him like she's so angry. So from conversation, I just guessed, like from the conversation, she's been trying to, or rather, she placed an order since like 4 p.m. And as at the time of as at the time of placing this call, it was at 9 p.m. And guys, I totally understand the frustration. Like, I totally get it. I totally get the frustration. Like, you've placed an order, even if it's not even something edible. Like, you placed an order, and then when it's supposed to arrive, it did not arrive, and there was no call to let you know what happened or something. It can really be frustrating. Then imagine if it's a food, probably she just wants to use the food to just relax or eat it as her dinner, and then it hasn't still come up until 9. So she was just really, really pissed. So she was changing it for him, angry and all of that. So you can see all of this frustration on her face. And then while she was just ranting and all of that, you can see the young man on the other end trying to confirm her order, which he did. And then he apologizes and explains what actually happened. So he tells her that the order had been dispatched, but the young man who was carrying the order had an accident, and he had to be rushed to the hospital. That he's so sorry about that. But on the other end, you can see how Diane is like, oh my god, like, wow. And I was here almost crucified. So she didn't say this actually, like, but you can see it on her face. She was really pissed at herself. Like, she was like, oh wow, and I'm here trying to crucify somebody and all of that. How insensitive I was. So she apologized, and she was like, okay, I'm just gonna get something to eat tonight. and asks for his name so that when she calls the next day, she knows who she's asking for. And then he is like, and then he says, my name is Stom. No, he says, Stom. My name is Stom. And I'm like, hey, oh shit, player 101, baby girl, run. Because I'm thinking in my head, this guy is a fine boy. Like, he's fine. And then his name is Stom. Like, guys, think this thing now. Think about this thing. Run, no. So he says, my name is Stom. And then she laughs. And he's like, you have a beautiful laugh. You actually have a beautiful laugh. And I'm like, baby girl, run. This guy is a player. Anyway, the call ends with Storm saying that Kohino would surprise her in a nice way. And then Diane introduces herself. That's the young lady gets to introduce herself as Ata. And then he calls her Ataka, Basically, they just gisted for a bit, and then the call ends. Everything just points to this guy being a player. Guys, I'm telling you, it just points to him being a player. He's a fine boy, and then he knows how to pay a beautiful compliment. So honestly, I don't want to spoil this movie for you guys, so I'll just leave the link to the actual movie in the description box, and you go and check it out yourself. But I'm just going to touch on the things that I cannot stay away from, guys. This movie got me in my feelings. Okay, so some minutes later, she gets a knock on her door. She goes out to check to see what is outside or who is outside, and she is greeted by her order. Next day, she tries to call several times to reach Augustum, but his number is not reachable. She couldn't reach him, so she tries again later, and then someone picks the call, and immediately she hears the voice. She recognizes the voice, and she's like, Storm, almost jumping out of where she's seated. I mean, guys, I totally understand the feeling of closure, like wanting closure. This guy did something extraordinary for her, and I understand that she just really wanted to say thank you to him, so when she hears his voice, she's like, Storm. She recognizes his voice, and he is like, Attacker. So she's now like, I called earlier, but no one seemed to know who Storm was, and then he immediately changes the subject, and this one just makes me to just, like, in my head, I'm like, hey God, this guy is a player. This guy is a player. I don't know how to tell this baby girl to run. Anyway, so they gisted for a bit, and she's like, she wants to place an order. Placing an order now, she just gives him her number. So next thing, they are on the call gisting for long. Now they've become friends, and I'm just here smiling sheepishly. I love Sha. I'm just here smiling sheepishly. Anyway, they're talking, and he's like, there's a lot you don't know about him, because when he tells her, like, he's the chef in Kohino, she's like, oh really? And then he's like, there's a lot you don't know about me, plenty. In my head, I'm like, okay, since you don't want to listen to me and run away now, now manage now, just be there when this guy will play with your heart, is when you will know. Anyway, so now they're still gisting, and then she's like, why haven't you requested to see me? Like, so probably they've been talking for a while, they've been friends now, and then he has not requested to see her, like they've never had a date. And then she's asking him why, and he's like, oh, but I asked your Instagram handle to check out your pictures, and she was like, no, I mean physical dates, like to see me physically. And then he fixes a meeting with her for the next day, like they fix a date for the next day. And meanwhile, while they are still having a conversation, a message comes in, and the message says, need to meet, it's urgent. And the picture that's attached to this message that comes in is a very hot lady's picture. And me, I'm like, guys, is this an ex-girlfriend? Is he a wife? Is he a girlfriend? Like, now I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay. So anyway, as the message enters, his mood just changed, and then she notices and asks, is everything okay? He said everything is fine, and then they say their goodbyes and they drop the call. So now date night have reached now. She's now set now, getting ready. You know how this thing is now with ladies, like first days, just want to look hot and sweet and all of that. She gets ready, she's ready now, and then she tries to call him. His number is not going through, and she's really worried. Tries and tries and tries and tries. Number is not going. Next day she goes to Kohino where he works to go and ask about him. But after so much rehearsal at the car park, she eventually goes in, asks about him, and nobody seemed to know him. The attendant the person who attended to him, Ike Oyema, asks her if she has a last name or a picture. Funny thing is, she has none. She had none rather. So and then she remembers that one time during their conversation he actually mentioned that he is a chef and he has the recipe to their food. And then she asks the attendant of their chef, the person who has the recipe, and he's like, oh, you mean Tega Kohino? And she's like, Tega Kohino Storm. She's trying to understand if it's the same storm she knows, and now. Anyway, so she's dumbfounded, she lives in shock. They showed 2 weeks later, she's still crying. 6 weeks later, after her visit to the Kohino, to the restaurant, she's still crying. That's 8 weeks after her visit to the Kohino restaurant, she's still crying, So 8 weeks after, she receives a gift, like a box of gifts, and inside is a letter written to her by Storm. He was explaining what happened. So apparently, on the day of their date, he just wanted to check up with his doctor. The person who sent him that message is his doctor. He just wanted to check up with her, and then after the whole checkup, she refuses him to leave because she has seen something, and then he has to stay back for treatment and all. Just that simple checkup now turned into him fighting for his life. He then slipped into coma for 2 months, guys. 2 months. Coming out of coma now, he could not talk, he could not speak properly. He had to ask a nurse in the hospital to help him write this letter to her. Oh God. And here I was judging him to be a player. Anyway, in that box was his pictures of him were inside. He also talked about in the letter how he was born to a single mom who died when he was 5, so he has no family, but was hoping to start one with her someday. Guys, at this point I'm just weak. At this point I'm so, I don't know. Anyway, so guys, the storyline is so realistic and so relatable. Honestly, I saw this movie and I had to see it again, and I told myself, no, I have to just review this movie. If you have seen other of Diane Russet's work, which I suggest you do, Diane is good. She really writes well. She writes beautifully. I like the picture quality. It is just superb. Sound was okay. I like how she used different parts of her house. It was obviously just an apartment she used for herself, and I'm not even going to be shocked if it's also the same apartment the guy was in. But anyway, I liked how she played with different backgrounds in her apartment. I liked the fact that her face could tell it all, guys. Her facial expression was 100% in this movie. What her face was saying was the same thing her mouth was saying. Her face and her mouth were in sync. I loved it. Then for the casting, I felt like, why Sadi and Ike? If you want to use celebrity, use them well. If you want to use celebrities, use them well. They appeared in just one scene each, and then they had very little to say. I mean, no, now someone like Ike, I felt like Ike had more to do. I mean, I've seen him in the Big Brother house. He had more to offer in this particular movie, but I liked how it was the people used, the cast were very minimal. Oh, I really did. I liked that. I really liked that. Oh no. Then I don't know if I have a problem with the fact that every scene in the house was shot looking like it was night time. I really don't know if I have a problem with that, but in general, I love this movie and I would definitely recommend it to both African and international audience, guys. Like, or rather, both Nigerian and international audience. Like, I love it so much. It is that versatile. Like, anybody can watch it and absolutely relate. One of the things I got from this from watching this movie was, please don't judge a book by its cover. I kept on judging Storm. Like, I kept on judging him because one, he was a fine dude. Like, he's so fine. And then the way the whole thing was just playing, I don't know. I just kept judging him. So well done, Diane Russet. This was a very nice one. It was really a very nice one. Like, guys, you need to check this movie out and give it a thumbs up. A thumbs up. I really like the way the story was told. It reminded me of Shakespeare. I know a lot of people would disagree to these parts, but guys, honestly, it reminds me of Shakespeare. Like the way it went up and then just came down. Well done, Diane Russet. I hope to see more and more and more of short movies like this from you, and hopefully eventually we get to a full movie that will be seen on Netflix, on Hollywood and all. So guys, till next time, stay well, stay blessed, and be well. Bye.